What's up, everyone? Hitman with the Resistance, and the intro started to play again. Fuck. And I am all over the fucking place. There we go. What's up, everyone? Hitman with the Resistance. If you're watching this, you are the Resistance, and people need to learn to shut the fuck up and let me work. Fucking dinging my emails fucking constantly. I don't give a shit about your bullshit.
Excess drama of the three-dimensional plane.
Yeah. Unnecessary drama on the Facebook plane. It's not even drama, it's just people carrying on about stupid bullshit. It's just like, shut the fuck up. It's of no interest to me.
And what should be the introduction topic today?
I don't know. Grandmaster Evan, what is current in the world right now?
Yeah, because he's always on top of that.
Right now, it's someone on Twitter posted an offer of $20,000 to assassinate President Donald Trump.
Right, I started listening to that video.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Isn't that kind of illegal, and shouldn't this person be already swatted by the United States government because of said video, in a sense?
Well, come to find out that Twitter account was removed, and Secret Service is on watch, big time.
Okay, well, what about the individual in question?
Haven't found out yet. I'm still looking into it. And it's like, you know, people.
It's like they made him disappear.
They need to realize social media is for everybody, and what's posted, these people will read it and they will turn that fucker in.
Yeah.
They're not thinking.
Yeah, whether people like it or not, Trump is the Twitter president. Leave his empire alone. You attack his empire. That is like no.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but I did post something quite interesting on my Facebook.
Shoot.
As my slow computer decides to load it around. It basically, I made sure that the preview wasn't there so that nobody had any bias and not click on anything.
Ah.
So, more or less, this is a broadcast not from your Alphabet News network.
Oh hell no! It's the underground news, man.
Yeah, that's how it starts off. Let me try to get to it so I can read it verbatim. And it's not far down. I know it's not. Okay. Please excuse this next message not from your Alphabet networks. Thank you. And then what's attached to it is Edge of a Revolution by Nickelback. But there's a video inside of it. And the events happened about February 9th of 2017. And then underneath that I have, thank you. This has been a message not from your Alphabet News networks.
Okay.
And basically, not to cause any spark of panic, not to cause any spark of discrimination, and not to cause any spark of anger, very shortly after Trump received office, I will very briefly state that Trump saved the planet by correlating with other world leaders.
Okay.
By basically shooting a laser into a rock that could have destroyed the planet because it had slingshotted around the sun and was directly coming towards us.
Okay, wait a minute. What?
Exactly.
Okay, we shot a laser into a rock that ricocheted around the sun. What?
That slingshotted around the sun. You know how they did in Armageddon where they did the gravitational force around the moon and slingshot it behind the comet? Well, this rock had slingshotted around the sun and was directly pointing at us.
Okay.
So Trump correlated with world leaders and shot a laser at the rock and prevented the destruction of the planet. And he tweeted about it, and it was nearly immediately erased. And there's some explanation about how things get erased, why things from Trump get erased, and why the tweets from Trump sometimes do not make sense.
Huh.
Exactly.
Well, unless you're sitting there following his feed 24/7, odds are you're going to miss something. So he's posting shit every day.
Think about it. They have like a group of team of CIA people watching his site constantly, 24-hour basis, no matter what, just in case he decides to post a specific word that they do not want to release to the public. Because technically, I'll say Planet X instead of the N word, which is not the word that everybody associates it with, but I'll just say Planet X and say that there is an N word here that Trump tweets about that automatically gets changed to another country's name, which could be Mexico, Canada, Middle East.
You're talking about Nibiru.
Exactly. Anytime Trump types that word in, that will automatically send up a red flag, and that's how come sometimes you see tweets that make no sense about other fucking countries, because Trump had actually put the word.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Yeah. That's how come they're wanting to make Trump look like an idiot so that people don't follow him. And I've even looked back through my my personal message of my personal group, and I sent, and people want to keep on saying Trump is a bad guy. Look what Trump actually did. And guess what? The attachment has been deleted because you cannot find this news story anywhere anymore. Trump took a homeless black woman that had broken into his Trump Towers and basically made a floor for her, and every day she can eat, sleep, 3 times a day she gets fed for free.
Huh. Yeah, that definitely ain't getting publicized.
Yeah, because that story got deleted. I ran back through my group chat today, my personal group chat, and there was a lot of stuff that's not there anymore.
Huh.
But to elaborate on that shooting a few months ago that they thought, about a year ago, little more than a year ago, where they thought it was a white guy, they wanted to blame a white guy, and then there's evidence that the hand on the gun that fired the gun is a black man's hand.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that story has not been deleted.
Yeah, it's the one where they're doing a news story, and supposedly it's the black guy that shot the man and the woman and shit.
Yeah, that news story.
Nice.
That was debunked. That was debunked a long time ago. I mean, like,
Yeah, I know. That was debunked as soon as it went on, but I was just stating that they'll delete something about Trump, but they won't delete a news story that proves them wrong.
Huh. Well, at least we know where their focus is and where they can be exploited.
I have my motel light on, checking for monitoring for any wiretapping and shit.
Okay.
Well,
making my pizza. Keep going, guys.
Well, you guys can't see my camera, but I'm a little yellow ball that's winking, sticking my tongue out at you that has feet, and I'll talk to you every once in a while. Anybody want to ask me any questions while I'm here?
I'll do it when I am dead drunk.
I really wish my camera would work so that people could see me talk instead of just hear me talk.
So is there something with the camera? Is your webcam all?
I don't know. Every time I decide to get in a group call on Facebook, my video camera doesn't want to pop on. The thing stays sliced, and I keep on clicking it to enable the video, and it never allows me to enable the video. Whenever I try to join the call at some points in time, it basically says there's a media restriction on my microphone. So basically, I just chalk it up to the 1% being assholes against resistance fighters.
Do you think that you've been hacked in that matter, or have you?
It only does it on group calls,
But not one-on-one calls though. I mean,
and it only does it on Facebook.
wonder why? I mean,
No, I can call a person one-on-one. Yeah, I know. What I chalk it up to is the 1% fighting back against the resistance because of, I don't know.
Like the little yellow guy stated, this isn't a war for one up. We're all here to help everybody.
So basically, behind that concept of thinking, it's like, I don't want to bag on anybody, but there's a lot of information that I have that some people don't want to accept, even though they choose to continue to follow their belief structure, which is their choice, and I respect that.
or it's information that they will kill for.
That as well. That is.
Mr. Giggles.
What's up, guys? What were you guys talking
Mr.
about?
Giggles.
What the fuck was
I wish
that?
you could see me, Mr. I wish you could see me, Mr. Giggles. I'm a little yellow ball.
All
That's
right.
Hey, it's an emoji! It's an emoji! That's fucking awesome!
Hi, Mr. Giggles.
Hi.
It's
I like
hey,
emojis.
it's time to bring in Genevieve.
Ah, Genevieve.
I will get the boss lady.
Genevieve.
The boss lady has been wronged.
She is
Wrong-dicated.
She is connecting. She is here. She has a black screen. Ah, there she is. Hi, pretty leader lady.
Hi.
I've been a bad boy today. I stole beef jerky and duct tape. It was awesome.
What do you got planned for the duct tape?
Yeah. I refuse to self-incriminate. Yeah.
I really appreciate your thoughts, Mr. Giggles. You are quite intelligent.
Thank you. And people say I'm not smart. And here I got away with stealing beef jerky and duct tape. Ah!
Did somebody say squirrels?
No, I showed him my walrus tusk.
Oh, he must have thought it was a squirrel.
Yeah, but it's a walrus.
He must have thought it was a squirrel. Or a rat. Because he doesn't like squirrels or rats, so you might have just scared the poop out of him.
I think he did, because he just ran past me like a bat out of hell.
Well, it's just a walrus. It's not a squirrel or a rat. He's got a little tail.
This is quite annoying because I'd like to show my face.
Well, you'll get it sorted out eventually. Might need to get a new computer or something. Just completely update
Yeah.
your system.
It might be my IP address. I'm not sure because all three of my computers do the same stupidity.
I don't know then. All I know is that I got pizza.
Yeah, because I have a 7 and I have 2 10s, and all three of them do the media constriction whenever I go into a group call. And whenever I force myself into a group call, you can hear me, but you can't see me.
Yeah.
Sounds like social media is a fucking backstabbing whore.
It is.
I actually looked up the information. I actually did some awakened work on this little media construct thing, and it's basically the way Tin Man was explaining before. Too many people are here at the exact same time, and for some reason, I'm the one that's fucked because of it. And excuse my language, but that's one way to put it. I apologize.
You're good.
You're good. We're not live yet.
We are. Good.
But yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. Like I was trying to elaborate on. It's like Grandmaster Reverend said, the information that most of us hold, they would kill because we have it.
Mhm.
And they're putting a constraint on
Or
us.
they will hire somebody to take you out and take the information.
Yeah, but that's
whether you have it in memory, in your mind, or on a USB data port.
Well, the information I get, I immediately share because I can't keep my mouth shut. So.
I guess we know what you're going to be getting from now on from Domino's, huh?
But
So
that's
go
the
ahead, kill me.
problem.
It's a wasted bullet. The information has already been spread like an
But
infectious disease.
that's the problem.
Yep.
The thing is that this crazy guy that takes care of me, he went insane and told him who he was, and that's how he got to this side.
Shit
So they
happens.
know that they can't do anything physically to him because they've tried everything that they could. That is why he is still here.
Yep.
So Genevieve,
What?
your main topic for tonight, and yes, we already are live. We've been live for about 17 minutes now.
Chipping
Okay, I
away.
didn't know that.
Yep.
All right.
Chipping away.
So go ahead.
So the topic for tonight is social media and how it chips away at our relationship and why do we let it? Now,
Okay.
the first thing about this is, yes, it's going to be a very touchy subject.
Naturally.
Because the main thing that ruins the relationships is when both people of the relationship are on the same social media things, such as Facebook, oh God,
Any
what was the one again?
social media.
Yeah, any one of those. When they're both on the same thing, and generally women have more male friends, and males have more female friends. Now, the main thing that chips away at relationships is when a guy is constantly loving other pictures of other women when they're half naked.
Yeah.
And it's not, women don't get upset because we're insecure or because we don't feel, well, we do feel like we're not enough and we're not attractive. But it's not because we're insecure. It's because if a guy is liking the picture of a woman who looks nothing like their partner, obviously the girl's gonna think, maybe
That's not
I'm
what
not
he
enough.
wants.
Yeah. Obviously I'm not what he wants. It's
Or-
sometimes he goes the same for the guy.
Or he likes everything. I like them all.
Yes, but when you try for a woman, when a woman puts her all into something, and if a guy says that he loves the girl, and yet he's going and liking every other woman's pictures, or rather giving hearts and stuff like that, saying, "Oh, you look so sexy," and all this other bull crap, it's going to cause problems. It's going to chip away at the trust of the relationship.
That is very true.
Hell yeah, and that's when the guy needs to cut off some loose ends and shit.
Because technically, as soon as you step into a relationship, you default everybody else to a different standard, and you put that person. So no matter what, this person should be your at least second priority because yourself is your first priority.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Another aspect about social media chipping away is the people in your friends list.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a much easier way of contacting people, and let's just face facts. Haters gonna fucking hate. And everybody's always gonna have their opinions and is either not gonna like the person you're with because they want that person themselves, or you got a guy friend who wants you,
Mm-hmm. And
or your
see,
female friends want them, and it's just constantly whispering in the air, and it's on both sides. It's not just
It's not
the
just
woman.
the men. It's not just the women. It's both sides.
Yeah, it's on both sides. You know.
But when you have both the male aspect and the female aspect on either side chipping away at what the other person has, or what the person has, or how do I say this? Basically, when you have your friends, for both males and females, if you're in a relationship with someone, if your male friends or female friends, whichever, don't like the person you're with, simply tell them, well, I'm glad you're giving me your opinion, but they're my choice, not yours.
Yep. But
And
you know people, they won't shut the fuck up, especially,
no.
like I said, haters gonna hate. And
Hmm.
if one of your friends wants your significant other or wants you,
Hmm.
they ain't gonna
They're
let
gonna do
up.
everything they can.
Yep.
Now, the other thing is, the best way to avoid that is to cut that person out of your life.
Yeah.
You tell them, you know what, if you can't leave me, or if you won't stop trying to get with my significant other, I'm going to cut you loose. And it's also up to the significant other to say, look, I'm not interested in you. I'm with so and so. You need to leave me alone.
Yeah.
Because there are instances where either a male or a female, they'll have the friend of their significant other saying, oh, I can treat you so much better, I can do all this for you, I can buy that for you,
Oh
I
yeah.
take real good care of you. And then, that little worm wiggles its way into the subconscious going, you know what, maybe they're right. But you have to be confident enough in your significant other in order to tell that person, you know what, fuck
Yeah.
off, I'm done. Don't talk to me. Don't talk bad about my person. You know what? I'm sure you could treat me better, but I don't want you.
Yeah.
And also
There,
keep on
there,
looking
there,
at the same tree.
Yeah.
You go first, Grandmaster.
Well,
there's
hold
also
on.
a lot. There's also a lot of jealousy on
Mhm.
both sides. Say, for example,
Took my words.
um, this past year in August, I met up with a couple of chicks and started talking to myself, and uh, it led to a somewhat of a relationship, which I admit myself that I fucked up, and over the months I had to do some serious evaluation on my part, and I had to cut ties with some women that were kind of not what I thought. It was all about
Pecking at what they wanted, right?
yeah, money.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I had to I had to cut off some loose ends where I had to choose one, and that's the one I'm with now, because she she don't care how I look. I'm 42, middle aged, nobody that's out of her league, and what I love about her is she don't care, and I had to cut ties with other women big time to stay with her, and that's what I did.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Grandmaster Evan, because that shows the other side of the spectrum. Because yeah, you'll have your friends who, for whatever reason, will be whispering shit in your ear, but sometimes there's other factors at play. That it's not necessarily them trying to get with you or get with your significant other or just hating. Maybe they see that there's a legitimate issue. Like Grandmaster Evan, you've had a few experiences where they were freaking just money grabbing bitches,
Yeah,
just trying to milk you.
yeah,
And we as your
needed
friends had to
really,
step in and say, hey, you need to pay attention to
yeah.
these details. You need to see the situation for what it is. And that's not the first time that this has happened. Not just with you, Grandmaster Evan, but a friend of mine, Spicy. She this past year was in a relationship for well over a year with a guy that she had met online, who was just completely immature, irresponsible, and very much not what she wanted or needed, but she was rushing headfirst into this whole ordeal and just moving way too fast, and they hadn't even met. They had never even met face to face, and they got freaking really fucking serious. And it's at that point where real friends have to step in and say, hey, you might want to rethink what you're doing here. This is what you're dealing. This is what you're really dealing with here,
You
and
need to
you need to stop.
reevaluate your actions yourself, and also you want to really reevaluate on what you need to do to get all the unnecessary factors from your life,
Yeah.
whether it's personal or online. You have to tie off loose ends that's not going to be good for you, and you have to seriously. I mean, you have to be serious because social media is not. I mean, it's for everybody, but it's also a dangerous place filled with virtual landmines.
It's a double-edged sword, very much.
You step on one, you will lose a virtual foot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty good explanation right there, man.
Yeah, it is a double-edged sword. And, you know, going back to what happened with Spicy, the outcome there was they finally met face-to-face, and she got to see firsthand everything that I was talking about. And she's like, Chris, I'm sorry I brushed you off. I'm sorry I fucking wrote you off and pushed you away. You were right. And you saved me from making a big fucking mistake. And, you know, sometimes people will jump in and bag the wrong horse and will cut off their friends who are legitimately trying to help them and say, hey, you are making a stupid fucking decision here.
And to elaborate on the relationship status, whether you are the partner or it is your partner, jealousy has to be out of each of your minds, for one. For one, jealousy has to be out of each of your minds. For two, just like Chris was explaining, Spicy apparently was her name, and she wanted to physically meet this person. You have to let people make their own choices. You can't sit here and attempt to influence them. You can always give them your advice, but you can't influence them and make them do what you want them to do.
Oh, absolutely not. At the end of the day, you can't force anybody to do anything that you want them to do. That goes against every fiber of my being. You know, to each their own, whether for better or for worse. But if you legitimately care about people, you gotta at least put the information out there for them. In, you know, sometimes, especially where relationships are concerned, sometimes people make bad decisions, and when people try to step in and help them, they go, "Oh, well, you just hate me, so I'm cutting you off."
And basically,
wind up doing bad shit.
And basically, from those two things right there, if you actually have them in your relationship, that is exactly what allows things to start chipping away and start chipping away.
Yeah.
Those two things right there.
Yeah, well, nobody should be in anybody else's relationship.
Yeah, everybody needs to keep their nose on their own face.
Yeah, because it's nobody else's business, in all honesty. But, you know, as it is very much a double-edged sword, you know, especially if you as a bystander who cares about one of the parties in question, at what point do you say, okay, do I step in or do I just stay stepped out? Do I interject and say, hey, I think you're doing something really stupid. These are the reasons why, blah, 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 blah. Or do you just let them alone and
since it's
let the Titanic hit the iceberg itself?
I'll answer that. And since it's social media itself, I would say put everything that you want to say in a single message, and depending on their reaction will depend on if you reply to their reaction.
Yep. Well, in Spicy's case, she had asked me to friggin' step in when I saw her in a situation that might be hazardous, because she had previous experiences, especially doing the online dating thing, where things just went really, really bad, really, really fast. And
excuse me.
Pretty much had me be her watchdog. And at which point, I was her watchdog, but for the most part, I did try to stay out of her relationship. Now, there were a few times I had to step in and tell both parties where the cow ate the cabbage, and it sure as fuck wasn't in no Cabbage Patch. And at the end of the day, I just had to leave it at that. And when she met the person face to face, she got to see firsthand what it was I was talking about. Because I pointed out, I'm like, you're moving way too fast with somebody you had never met. And they may not be who you think they are. And based on what I've seen from this person, they're a little fucking bitch.
You mean a cabbage?
No, they were a little fucking bitch. Like,
that.
No, like this guy and she, Spicy will even
Oh.
tell you this herself. He was pretty much
Oh, he was
the
Sancho.
guy. If the two of them were walking down the street and a mugger freaking approached him, he'd hide behind her.
Yeah, he's motherfucker Sancho.
Wow.
Yeah, he a little bitch.
He's Sancho.
Yeah, he is not Orgasmo. He is Sancho.
Now we've covered the jealousy. We've covered the liking of photos or loving of photos. We've
Well,
covered that.
also not just that, you also gotta watch out for scammers too, because when you get a friend request, check out that the page. Find anything. Do what you can to, because if the person has no
Anything
friend,
that directs you to a website period that wants you to pay per view, so to say, they're automatically 90% a bot or some kind of form of a bot.
Well,
Yeah.
no, they don't do that anymore. There's now bot and scam friend requests going around.
Yeah. I
women and
fell
men.
for a couple of them, and I was a dumbass for doing it anyway.
Every
you
time
don't-
when
you
I
don't-
get, well, every time when I get a friend request from someone who has like 1 or 2 friends, and I look at everything on it that I can see, usually they have their profiles completely public, and no one in their right mind has their profiles completely public to everyone.
It's
where
all
they can
private.
see everything.
It's all
Yeah,
private.
I only have my ship public, and that's regards because I'm a public figure. And the World War Resistance Network. You know,
But a person
my
in
online
person,
my online Facebook account is pretty much for the World War Resistance Network's purposes. I
But there's-
hardly ever post anything personal.
but there are scams of that going on. Like every time when I get something like that, I say no. I deny the friend request, and I block the bot. But so we've covered. Moving on with the subject, we've
Alright.
covered the jealousy. We've covered the pictures. We've covered trying to keep people out of it. Now there are reasons that some people actually let it happen. There are people who have commitment issues. Prime example, Dean Winchester. Or Anthony DiNozzo. So,
Denozo.
yeah, DiNozzo. Anywho,
So we're just putting people on blast tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll
Those
put Bull on blast too.
they're fictional characters, for crying out loud.
Exactly.
I
there's no problem there.
I would say I'm more like Gibbs, kind of a old
Damn it! You
guy.
completely missed it. That just went
Anywho.
completely over your head, didn't it?
Yes, it did, because I'm trying to stay
I
on
was
track.
trying to mindfuck people who didn't know what you were actually talking about.
No one doesn't know who Dean Winchester or Anthony DiNozzo is. I'm sorry. There's no one alive who doesn't.
There has to be somebody, and I had to try. Damn it! You stole my fun. You're just like my boss,
Sorry.
Go to the
That's
Middle
like-
East, Chris.
huh?
That's like
Go to the
asking-
Middle East,
Yeah,
you'll
go to
find
the Middle
one.
East. That's like asking anybody in America who doesn't know, or asking them if they know who Abby Shudo is. Come on, everyone knows. Especially men.
She is the hot goth science computer chick. Oh my god.
She figured out the secret that Cher figured out on how to stay looking young.
Now, there are reasons.
Except Cher's pussy is haunted.
I wouldn't know.
Sounds like you know from
And
personal experience,
Grandmaster?
Grandmaster.
Now,
Yeah,
Grandmaster
I
is
don't-
talking from things that he knows from books that he's read.
I don't know, man.
Anywho,
And movies.
I will not lie. If I had the opportunity, I'd fuck Elvira.
Elvira.
I
think it's
think
creepy looking.
before I would do that, I would call for an exorcist to exercise that vagina to cleanliness.
I think I feel Catherine Brewster's gun against my head, so let's let her speak again.
Okay, speak.
I have a 3-barrel. I have a 3 guns pointing at each one of your heads. So, anyhow, so there are other reasons. There are of course, something's going on. They have commitment issues, or they have trust issues, or there's also a very rare case of they don't know they're doing it. They've been single for so long, they have no freaking clue.
Yeah.
And when it's brought to their attention, they're like, wait, no? What are you talking about? I haven't done that. They're just my friends. Because they legitimately think that those people are just their friends. Whereas the people that they're doing that to are thinking that they're more, and they're not.
Yeah.
But
Well,
For that reason-
there is a lot. I mean, there is a lot of cases of stupidity, ignorance, and a lot of other parts in that. I mean, 2017 from August to December was my year. It was my year. And how it all started, I was on my console playing GTA 5 Online. I got a ding, got a friend request and a chit chat request. Talking to the same chick until December. And during that time, I got another one. Tink. Another chat, but it's with the chick that I'm with now. And I couldn't lie to any of them, so I had to like explain and show a picture of each other. And I'm told by one of them, I don't want you to talk to her. So
that's
I'm
not
kind
her
of
place to say. That wasn't her place to say because you and her didn't have a relationship. You had a friendship, but not a relationship.
Yeah,
and
if you guys aren't serious, if you guys aren't exclusive and committed to each other, then
Number
nobody
two.
has a right
Until
to dictate.
I
I'd like to.
was talking to both of them until December because the one kind of started to get really greedy for some reason. And that's when I was like, nah.
Just state something real quick.
I'm
Yeah.
go ahead.
Curtis has a thought.
To state something real quick, sometimes this is social media. Sometimes we are meeting people through the internet. And what most people, and I will say most, I'm not going to say all because that makes it a false statement automatically. If you say all or an extreme in any way, it makes it a false statement. I will say most people don't realize the concept that this is just a device. You, the person that you're talking to, you need to start thinking that it is just a device you are talking to. It is a screen in front of me I am speaking words to, and there's people moving on the screen. I'm not there to actually touch them, so they're technically the device that is in front of me as of this moment.
Yeah.
Yes, but sometimes that's not easy for most people. I mean, there's lots of cases of people. I've had personal experiences where I was thinking that way, where I was just thinking, okay, I'm talking to just a screen. I'm talking to, it's not a real person. It ended up the person behind the screen that I was talking to on the other end ended up trying. He still won't leave me alone to this day, but he had become obsessed with me, and still is. I had to block him for the third time a couple days ago because he will not leave me alone.
It sounds like I need to get my. It sounds like I need to get my recurve, my quill, and my quiver.
That would be awesome.
I think that's when you send the lizard squad to hack his shit to come. Hey, look, leave her alone, or we'll hack your shit to death.
Yeah, that's whenever you hire a merc to go out there and say a simple sentence, and if he continues, you just do what the simple sentence said you would do.
Yeah, well, the only thing is that I don't have the money for a merc, one, and two, the guy's in California. I mean, he doesn't have any money. He doesn't have a job. There's no way that he's going to be able to come out here to even do anything. But that's not to say that he's not going to when he does get all that stuff.
Well, if he hasn't gotten it in all this time, odds are in California he's not going to.
No.
I mean, we've already discussed California economics numerous times.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll discuss
He
this
just
at a
isn't
later
there.
date as well. But everybody else continue to elaborate.
Well,
But there's also the if a person is talking to me. So if say my boyfriend's talking to me. I mean, I was in California, he was in here in Nebraska, okay? we were talking back and forth. Now, through emails and Facebook and stuff like that and text messages, we were talking that way, like just back and forth. Now, say somehow he ended up, not that he did, but say he somehow ended up starting to think of me as just a screen. And he just stopped talking to me, like out of the middle of nowhere. He didn't, give me any information about when me and my son are going to come out here or anything like that. It ends up it can lead to a problem where you become detached from that person that you were originally talking to, that you originally had feelings for. If you've met them in person and known them for a while, it ends up causing a problem when you start thinking about, okay, this is just a screen.
But that's the difference. That's the difference, and I kind of stated that very extremely briefly in my statement. If you have not actually reached out and touched them, they are technically just a device in front of you.
Mhm. Well, there's.
And if you have
That
reached
is
out and
true.
touched them,
Chris and your demented, twisted little mind over there. Well, not little. Well, don't mean to say little mind.
I know what you're saying. No worries.
Well, there are machines that you can transfer kisses. It's only in Japan, though.
There are also machines that can control the weather.
Now, the only time that the thinking of the screen as just a screen becomes a problem is when the person
I think she froze.
the person freezes. The only time that the problem with the person on the screen becomes a problem is whenever the person on the screen freezes. I will finish that statement.
How the hell did my camera turn off? I don't know how that happened.
The government tried to
I
keep you
don't
from
know
spreading
how it
truth.
happened. But I wasn't saying anything against them.
It's like-
Oh.
It's like sex doll malfunctions. Like, it just seizes up mid-orgasm or something.
It is because I spoke truth very quickly and very very briefly, and they thought it was your camera that it came from because we was talking through the stuffed animals, and I said one simple statement and everything went stupid.
Yeah.
And there's vouchments for that.
Well, it ends up, sometimes the person can go from thinking of a screen as just a screen as an actual person. And it's not easy to go back to thinking of the screen as just a screen. And that therein lies a problem, where either party can, they'll end up going, oh, I'm not doing anything, I just think of this person as a friend, this is just a screen, it's just words. But in all reality, it actually, after a while, when your significant other is seeing this constantly, they'll purposely, like, personally, I tell myself, I'm not worried about it, it's just words, and that was about 2 years back, but still, I said that, and I was constantly, 100% every day, all day, whenever I was around, I saw those words. I saw the, oh, you look pretty, and all this other stuff, and I saw that being said to someone else, and it hurt. I mean, at first it didn't, because I was like, okay, it's just words, it doesn't mean anything, it's just a friend, that this person's just trying to lift them up. It after a while of seeing it constantly, it hurt. It started hurting really bad, and my self-esteem went way down because I felt like I wasn't enough. And I never said a word until I finally got to the point where I wanted to kill myself because I thought I wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I apologize. I thought that was a finished
It's
statement.
okay. I actually forgot what I was going to say, so go ahead.
That's I understand how difficult it is to put yourself in somebody else's shoes because I try to do it all the time. But basically what I mean off of that is I attempt to remain single for very many reasons because of the way that I think is one of them, and it's not accepted. Number two, saying that as an aspect, flipping the coin around and actually realizing that there is a partner here sitting here either witnessing or you are doing it and you're witnessing them doing it. This is very devastating. This is very negative. This is not what should be done. This is exactly what is being said. This is chipping away at the relationship of the foundation of trust and acceptance that everything was originally founded upon of the relationship. As you have built your house of love with each other.
And it only takes a couple of days of constant compliments to someone else or multiple someone else's, and for it to come crumbling all down.
I think that way. I mean, anybody can feel that way. I mean, even a guy. I mean, I've been there. I've been there.
That's what I'm saying. Is like it happens with both parties. You know, both sides of the spectrum, as you guys have said. You know, it happens not just with women. It happens with men as well.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it doesn't stop there. Obviously, with men and women. I mean, to be politically correct, it goes throughout the whole entire spectrum. It's not just the two. I mean, there's the other ones that this happens to as well.
Any relationship.
Any relationship. In any relationship where there is some form of more than family or friend love, it happens.
Yeah.
And it is not. I mean, it's becoming bigger and bigger every day, and no one is doing anything to stop it. No one wants to, because like, ooh, I'm getting attention. Yay, more attention. They're all becoming what we all know from back in the day as attention.
The only way a person would feel that if their partner is not acknowledging them no more.
Oh no, I know
either they felt out of sync, out of love with the person they're with, and their other half is kind of feeling that they're not getting that love from that person who's totally ignoring them. They're gonna go in that route where they're gonna find love somewhere else because their partner is completely ignoring them to a certain degree, and it will put a
damper.
A damper on someone's life. I mean, it's like you're with this person, and for so long, and he or she is completely ignoring you for whatever reason that is, and you have no idea why, and it could get right down insulting to the self, to the self.
Exactly, it could. But I actually know someone very close to me. I'm not going to say who or how close, but I know someone that's very close to me that she gets non-stop attention from her husband, and every time that she gets that, she pushes away. She pushes and pushes and pushes. He keeps trying, and then she turns around and
she's
starts
scared.
complaining.
She's scared.
Well, hold on, I'm not done yet.
Yep.
But then she turns around and says, "Oh, he doesn't care about me." I'm like, and I've told her, I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me? He does care about you. You have any idea what I would give to have that? The constant attention, the constant touching, the constant physical this, physical that. I would love that." And she was constantly
He's trying to show her affection, and she's pushing away, but turns around and says,
"Yeah."
He's not giving her enough affection. When he's trying to, she's pushing away.
I know, she pushes him away. Exactly, and there are those scenarios like that where that person, and she gets attention from other men, and she accepts that. She'll take that attention.
But she won't accept
it from her husband.
That's just plain hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy with no bounds.
And she's being very toxic towards her own relationship in several different manners at the same time.
She's the poison. She's a poison that needs to be.
Now here's the kicker: her husband
exited.
Here's the kicker. Her husband loves her to death. He will never. He's already stated this to me several times. He said, I don't care if she even tries to put actual poison in my food. I will never leave her.
That's love right there.
Yeah.
He loves her very much, and
But-
he will not
but-
give
Love is
up.
blind, deaf, and
She's-
stupid.
She's a poison that needs to be removed.
Neutronized.
Yeah.
Neutered.
And I'm in a position where I'm in a position where I can't tell him that.
If she's willing to do this, she don't love him.
I know this, and a lot of other people know this, but she doesn't. She's still convinced that she 100% loves him, and this is how she shows love, because that's what she's used to getting from her exes. She's used to getting that kind of love from her exes, and then they turned around to her after she left, and they said, well, why'd you leave? I loved you like there was no tomorrow. I would have done anything for you. Whereas their actions said completely the opposite. So she is the not really textbook, but she is the pit explanation of good girl with a dick boy becomes a bitch, which turns a good guy into a dick. Therefore, dick turns good girl into bitch. You know, the whole circle.
A vicious
That's
cycle.
what happened to her. She got caught in it.
Dude.
She got caught in it.
Which is a definition of a cat ear wearing bitch to myself.
Yep.
True that.
And she just, I've told her lots of times, and I was like, look, you need to stop. You need to just accept the love. He loves you. Just accept it. You have to let it in.
There's a lot of women who would love to get that kind of love from a guy.
Yeah.
Right?
I think
tell her
Chris
that
found a
every
pile.
time.
Found a pile and couldn't push
Even
anybody
a
into
guy
it.
would want that even from a woman themselves.
But we walked past
It's
it too
vice
far
versa.
Yeah. What were you saying, Kurtz?
I think Chris spotted the pile of doo-doo that we walked by, but now that we're too far down the road for him to push anybody into it.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to play nice tonight. I really
But
am.
I will,
I'm trying to
but
play
I
nice
will turn
tonight.
around and point.
Everybody
that-
says, Chris, you need
that-
to play nice.
But I will turn around and point that Genevieve didn't technically said this. Her friend said this. A female did not let him in. So as I turn around and point at the pile.
No, that was misunderstanding. I did not say that. I said I've told her she has to let his love in. So I was trying to
Let him
thought
in.
of
Yeah.
Let
she's
him
gotta
in.
let him.
So she
But
Here's
won't
the pile.
let this in.
yeah,
Does
the
she at
love,
least let
the
this
love,
in?
Yeah.
Yep, there's the
Oh
pile.
no, she won't even do that.
Chris just
She
pushed
won't
everybody
What?
into it. Chris just pushed
she
everybody
won't
into
do
it.
that. And this guy her husband is willing like there's no tomorrow. He does the whole 9 yards. He does the rose petals, candles, massage, everything. And she still won't give in.
He even sit there and says, I'm
She
hungry,
won't
I'm
even
ready
give
to
it the
eat.
pussy? What the fuck, bitch?
He even sit there and says, I'm hungry, I want to eat. And she says, no dinner for you tonight.
You know, I will have a drink to this
Yes.
man.
There's a point.
I am
is-
so sorry for you, my friend, whoever you are.
If I was in that position, okay, this comes from me. A human being has a breaking point,
Everyone does.
and from the way I'm seeing this or hearing it, she has pushed him beyond the breaking bound here.
But he
I mean,
hasn't broken. That's the thing. He's still with her. He still loves her.
I mean, if I was in that position and I did all that, and she refuses to acknowledge that shit, I would drop kick the bitch in a volcano.
There's going to be
It's not that she doesn't acknowledge it. She acknowledges it, but she doesn't reciprocate it. She doesn't give that amount of effort as well.
Well, if
What-
she's saying that she doesn't get the attention from him that she wants, obviously she's not acknowledging it if she's claiming that she's not getting it. Either that or she's just a lying fucking hypocrite.
or maybe she does, but either she's afraid or just don't give a shit.
See, the complicated part is that this is a family member, okay?
I think I know who you're talking about. I'm not going to say names, but
This is a family member of mine.
John and Bonnie. How about that?
Yeah, there we go. We'll go with that.
We'll go with John and Bonnie.
No, we'll name them Bonnie and Clyde. There we go.
There we go.
I was just about to suggest that. That was really scary. Great
Okay,
minds
so-
think alike. That is very scary. Kudos to you,
Bonnie-
Kate.
Bonnie is my sister. Okay, I can't do.
That's what I was
nothing.
thinking.
I can't say anything. I can't say anything. I can't do anything. I want you so bad. I mean, Clyde, my brother-in-law, he wants. I mean, he comes to me and he talks to me about this. He goes, "What do I do?" And I told him, I said, "Don't give up. Keep persisting. Be insistent." And my sister,
Even if he keeps consistent,
well,
it's not, nothing's going to
Bonnie-
change.
At some
well,
point,
Bonnie's come to
at
me.
some point, the bottom of this well is going to break out, and it's going to be the point of no return, and it's going to begin, and pretty much something's going to
Yeah.
break somewhere, and it may become violent. I'm not saying who. I'm saying it may. There may be verbal violence, or there may be physical violence, but at some point, the bottom of this well is going to break, and there's going to be some form of violence that will ensue here.
In
Yeah.
a very
And-
big way.
Yeah.
Very, very. Now,
Yeah, that'll get this
Dark.
man a pocket pussy quick.
the reason why I said damn it, Darth, was because of the fact that when you said point of no return, the first thing that popped in my head was Phantom of the Opera, the song "Past the Point of No Return,"
Hmm.
You would
and I've
go
gone a
that
whole
route.
year. I've gone a whole year without thinking about Phantom of the Opera until tonight.
Well, I guess you
We
haven't
knew
been
it would
looking
happen
at my wall.
eventually. I mean, shit. You've been a fan of Phantom of the Opera since I first met you.
Only because of Gerard Butler, damn it.
Regardless of the reasoning, you were and are forever going to be a huge fan of Phantom of the Opera.
Always will be.
And there is
Always.
nothing wrong with that. Phantom of the
Right.
Opera is a beautiful, beautiful story.
It's kind of
sick,
fucked up if you
it's
ask me.
twisted, and I love it.
I think it's fucked up because, I mean, this is, okay, that's actually really perfect. Okay, so Clyde is the Phantom. All three of you have seen Phantom of the Opera, right?
Sure.
I've seen the classic with Boris Karloff.
That's
so,
good
so
enough.
you know the storyline. Darth, do you know the storyline behind Phantom of the Opera?
I know the script, so you can continue.
Okay, so Clyde is the Phantom, and Bonnie is Christine.
Hmm.
All right, and the attention that Bonnie is getting from other men is basically love. Okay, she's fighting with herself about, just like Christine was, about which one to go with. She knows she loves Clyde. Bonnie knows she loves Clyde, but she also loves Raoul. So she doesn't know which one to choose because she's always experienced her exes going to the attention, also known as Raoul, going to that, rather than sticking with the love, the pure love of the Phantom. And Bonnie's come to me several times asking me, what do I do? He won't stop. He won't stop giving me hugs and kisses. He won't stop coming up behind me and hugging me while I'm cooking. It gets in the way. It's annoying. And I have told her multiple, and I do mean multiple times, that
Stop
she
being an
needs to
ungrateful
start
bitch.
I can't tell her that, and you know it.
Oh, I would.
I know you would, but you're not Bonnie's brother. I'm her sister.
The thing
think-
is, she needs to understand he's showing her affection.
And I've told her that.
And
told her
the reason he does that, a man would do that to his first woman, is because he loves her. He will lay his life down for her because he has
He would.
that much love for her. But you also got some women that would love that, and then there's some that will probably be in the same category as her sister. But the thing is, you have to realize that person is showing you some love, giving you hugs and kisses and being affectionate with you because they love you. You mean a
And
lot.
it's pure love.
It's
It's
pure
pure.
love that will never die unless if she keeps pushing him away. That's what I'm saying is it's the poison that's what she's causing that unfortunately would end the marriage in a heartbeat.
Yeah, she's
Any
poisoning her
guy-
own relationship.
Any guy who is put in that position, like Clyde, there's a breaking point where she'll be the cause of the ending of the marriage.
And then she'll
So
wonder
basically-
why.
Yeah,
And she'll ask,
exactly.
she'll ask the dumbest question, what did I do wrong?
Well, that's exactly what I've told her. I've told
No,
her
she'll
exactly
blame
what
it
she
on
just
him.
said, is that I don't know. She might, but then again, she might not.
she will blame it on him.
Hey guys, this is the winky face emoji. I think I have the answer for this entire solution, but it's going to be very funny. It's
Okay.
it's
Hold
a
up.
song by Starbomb, and it's called Luigi's Ballad, where basically Luigi tries to talk
Luigi's
to...
Ballad, is that like Super Mario Brothers?
Yes, I'm about to talk about this for a moment.
Awesome.
Luigi is the loner little shy guy that's talking to... I'm not talking about Shy Guy from the game. I'm talking about Luigi as a shy person. He's sitting there talking to Princess Peach. And Mario comes in all arrogant like he's the boom boom biggity boom 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 boom. And then they go, Luigi and Mario go back and forth, and then at the end Luigi's like, well, who do you choose? And Peach looks at everybody, picks up Toad, and here's where it gets a little graphic. So yeah.
Do it.
She picks up Toad and says, I choose Toad because his entire body is shaped like a penis.
Yes!
And that is the solution to all your relationship problems right there. You just need to figure out which one of these 4 people you are.
It's fucking awesome!
Now,
It's like Chef from South Park. All you gotta do is
Now-
find the clitoris.
now I'll go back to my little corner now.
Me too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Oh.
That
So,
was very,
That was
very
quite
appropriate.
interesting. That was quite interesting.
yes.
And I'm glad Kathleen Brewster gave us all this idea of grabbing a plush toy and doing a weird voice and be like, if you want to talk real stuff, use the plush toy. It'll be a heck of a lot more funnier, and it'll probably get the point across.
For me to do that, I gotta be dead drunk.
I wasn't drunk earlier, and I did the zebra thing.
That was cool. That was hilarious.
And
right
also, my dog be looking at me like I'm a weird motherfucker.
there.
Hey, when I was at Walmart today, I had to pick up a few things. I deliberately stopped in the toy section, and I was the only guy in the toy section looking through the little kids, fucking, even like girls' infant toys, and found that little stuffed zebra for like $5.
I want to see the zebra. I want to see the zebra. Show me zebra.
Yeah, but I really think that was a good idea, Catherine Brewster.
The zebra.
Thank you.
It's a little zebra.
Ah, it's so cute. Is it soft?
Yeah, it's stuffed. It's by
No,
Spark
soft.
Create Image.
Is it soft? Like silky soft?
Yeah, it's very soft. It's very silky like. It's a little stuffed
Yay.
animal. It's kind of like my Stitch. Just
Ooh.
like maybe like half the size. Like it's just a little zebra.
Okay,
And
we might have to do a part 2 to this relationship thing because I gotta go because Willy Wonka and the Chocolate. Oh, there's
Kevin.
minions. There you go.
Kevin.
there you go. We'll bring minions into it.
That's Kevin
we
and
go.
Bob, right?
Bob and Stuart.
Yeah, I knew
Ah.
one of them was one of them.
But we might need to do a part 2 simply because of the fact that Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is over, and I gotta get my little man to bed.
No problem. I think
Did you
We're
know
safe to
that
close
that movie is considered a horror flick?
Are you talking about the Johnny Depp version or the Gene Wilder version?
The Gene Wilder version.
Oh, all the kids come out fine.
Yeah, well, already sure because like
Well, yeah, it shows
like
them at the
like
end.
Gremlins, it's considered a horror movie. Why
It came
I have
out in the family
why,
section on Netflix.
why I have no idea. Why I
No,
have
they
no
should
idea.
make a legitimate horror movie out of it. Like
I agree, they should.
like Genevieve, I'm sure you've seen it. The YouTube spoof trailer called Gobstopper with Christopher Lloyd as Willy Wonka.
Wow.
I will find
Nope.
it and I will send it to you guys. It is fucking dark as fuck. And
Wow.
you will see it, you'll be like, they need to make this into an actual movie.
Even I'm a little
Okay.
scared. because you said
They've
Christopher
put out a
Lloyd.
trailer for Back to the Future 4.
Does it have a tank or an airplane?
It's the DeLorean,
It's the DeLorean remade.
probably.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. What was the time travel device, a tank or an airplane? Because I did read something
No,
quite a
it's-
few years
It's
ago.
the car. It's the DeLorean.
Yeah,
From what I knew, the car was destroyed when they stopped on the train track. And that's when
the car was destroyed. He had the train left over, but the car wound up remanifesting itself through a fucking hole in the space-time continuum. You know, I guess there was like a fucking loophole in the space-time continuum that allowed the car to continue to exist, and it just fucking appeared one day. And yeah, it was very interesting. That was where Back to the Future, the video game, came into play.
I can completely understand that because technically if you went to a certain specific point in time and an event already happened, you can reset that event so that it doesn't happen by doing a simple... It's time is very easy to manipulate once you can jump between different points of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Anyway,
it can-
I know Genevieve has got to go, so we will
Yep.
go ahead and call this a night.
Yep.
Genevieve, my friend, why don't you go ahead and close this out? Boss lady, take the helm.
This is Genevieve with the Resistance. If you are hearing this, you are the Resistance. Keep on resisting. Bye.